Thursday, February 30th, 3 years from now, you're about to meet someone very special. It is going to fight you very hard. The outcome of this fight depends on decisions you're about to take. So how to win this fight? I want you to completely forget about your goals. Being rich, being jacked, being respected. Forget about all of them right now. The only way to guarantee your success is to be a master of atomic habits. Imagine taking the right decision every time. What if you could inverse the entropy that makes you do bad stuff every day? What if it was hard to doom scroll on social media, to eat junk food, and even more difficult to procrastinate? Well, there's an algorithm for that, and you are already on your way to get it. It is 5 simple steps ahead of you, and you already took the first step, which is to start watching this video. That being said, it doesn't matter how successful or how unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is if your habits are leading you to success. Now, if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you, it's your system. Remember this. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. Changing your habits is challenging for 2 reasons. 1, you try to change the wrong thing. And 2, you try to change your habits in the wrong way. You need to understand the 3 layers of behavior change: outcomes, processes, and identity. The first level is about changing your outcomes. It aims for specific results. Gain muscle, do 10 handstand push-ups, or make 500k per year. Most of the goals you set fall into this category. The second level is about changing your process. Now the focus shifts to habits and systems. This includes starting a new gym routine, organizing your workspace, or meditating. The third and deepest level is about changing your identity. This means shifting your beliefs. It's about how you see the world, how you view yourself, and your judgment of yourself and others. Outcomes are about what you get, processes are about what you do, identity is about what you believe. The reason it is hard for you to install good habits is because you're a Nah, I'm joking. It's because you try to change your habits in order to reach the outcome. You're not changing the identity that will inevitably lead to the outcome. It's the subtle difference between trying to work out and being an athlete. Someone trying to get fit debates whether he should go to the gym. An athlete doesn't even question it. They train because that's what they are. Actions that don't match your beliefs won't stick. You might want more money, but if you see yourself as someone who consumes instead of creates, then it won't happen. Saying, I want to be this kind of person is very different from saying, I am this person. The goal is not to read a book, it's to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. The goal is not to go to the gym, it's to become an athlete. 2 steps separate you from the identity needed to achieve what you want. 1, decide the kind of person you want to become. 2, prove it to yourself through small, consistent wins. Alright? Be a winner. The word identity was originally derived from the Latin essentitas, which means being, and identidem, which means repeatedly. Your identity is literally your repeated beingness. So how do you actually get 1% better every day with minimal effort? Because that's what we're here for. First, you gotta understand that habits are just tools to automate our thinking and save energy. Your brain doesn't understand what a good and a bad habit is. There are only habits that bring you closer to your goals and ones that don't. So the first step is to have a project from which you can define what a good and a bad habit is. Do you want to be an obese, unfocused person? Then just watch TikTok and Netflix all day long and eat junk food. Alright, that's the perfect habit in order to reach that goal. But maybe you want to be a creator that draws the attention of 100,000 people per day, or an entrepreneur that makes $10,000 every day, or an athlete that can do 100 handstand push-ups. Reaching those goals and your goals depend on the 4 parts of the habit algorithm, starting with the first one. Here's the truth. You're so used to be doing what you've always done that you never question yourself. And let me tell you, most of your failures are due to a lack of self-awareness. You don't even know what you're doing wrong, right? If you don't see the problem, you can't solve it. The next step is to make the unconscious conscious. Every day you make decisions that feel harmless. Skipping one exercise at the gym, going to bed 30 minutes later, checking the memes your friends send you on Instagram. Individually, these decisions are small, but over time they build momentum, guiding you straight to failure. First thing you need to do is to become a psychopath with every action you do. Start by making a list of your daily actions. Wake up, check my phone, snooze the alarm, wake up again, go to the bathroom, wash my face. Snoozing the alarm seems like it's not a big deal, you're just gonna wake up a bit later, right? But it's less obvious to see the effects. You will feel less confident and so you will be less effective. Once you got your list, review each action and mark them depending on their impact on your goals. Wake up is neutral, check my phone is negative, snooze the alarm is definitely negative, wake up again, it's negative, going to the bathroom, neutral, wash my face, that's a good thing. With this in mind, you're able to spot the cues that lead to your current habits. Now that you have awareness over your habits, you're ready to install new ones. You might tell yourself, I want to eat healthier, or I want to write more, but you never decide where and when to do those things. You leave it to chance, hoping that you'll just remember it, or feel motivated at the right time. You know this is BS, right? So there's one key to stop bullshitting yourself and get a clear, actionable task. The invisible force behind every action, the implementation intention. In Islam, there's a concept called niyyah, which means purpose or intention. Before any meaningful act, you set your intention to align your action with your goals. Clear intention is what turns a vague desire into focused action. Think of it like setting Google Maps before a journey. The intention is your destination. The implementation intention is the map that gets you there. Here's how it works. 1. Start with clarity. Why do you want to build this habit? 2. Anchor it in action. Use this formula. I will behavior at time in location. For example, I will send 10 emails for 30 minutes when first sitting at my desk. I will spend 10 minutes doing handstands before every shoulder workout at the gym. I will read for 10 minutes every evening after shutting down my computer. When you combine clear purpose with specific actions, habits stop feeling random. They become aligned with your goals, making them easier to stick to. Clarity drives action. Action builds momentum. Momentum creates results. So start small, start now, and repeat daily. Not sure when to start a particular habit? Use the momentum of a particular date. First day of a week, first day of the month, or even better, first day of the year. You know, New Year's resolutions are cliché, but they are for a reason. They actually work if you believe in them. Even if they work for only 2 weeks, they do work. It's not a coincidence that keyword searchers for atomic habits search every start of a new year. But here's the thing. Maybe we're in the middle of the month, you have no energy, and it's winter time. Getting out your current habits feels impossible. It takes a ton of willpower, which you don't have. Well, there's another way. It uses a basic psychological lever that affects everyone: commitment and consistency. Robert Cialdini explains it in his book Influence. So what you want to do is stack a new habit on top of another. After current habit, I will new habit. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. You already know all of this, right? You don't see how it can improve your life. Well, the deep reason behind why you might think about this is because you don't trust yourself. And you don't trust yourself because you've proven to yourself that you're okay with bad habits. All it takes to reverse this entropy is proof that you're not accepting this anymore. And we can solve this right now. It could be setting up your alarm for 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, just for one morning. You can do it now, like just actually do it. Or maybe pull the all-nighter tonight and move things forward. You might wake up a bit late, but you'll wake up proud because you said you were gonna do something and you did it. Unreasonable life choices must be fought with unreasonable solutions. Unreasonable solutions involve something I've been doing a few times already and I'm doing right now. It forces me to upgrade my habits immediately. Within one day, whole new person. And it has to do with this equation. Behavior is a function of a person and an environment. Last year, I was living in Bangkok with a friend. We took the time to find our hyperbolic time chamber, a place that would make it very hard to do anything else than just work and work out. So we rented an apartment in a beautiful tower. It had a pool on the roof and a gym on top of it. Then we wouldn't just work in our apartments. We chose to rent an office in another tower, which was named G Tower, by the way. For 3 months, coffee, lift weights, shower, head to the office, work, eat, work some more, sleep, and repeat. And I'm doing this again in this beautiful place in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I sleep over there, I work over there, and eat over there. What you need to understand here is what's around you shapes your life. If you want quick, guaranteed results. Take the next flight to a new place and there force a new version of you. It's been 10 minutes and I've only talked about how you can create new habits to defeat the thing that will fight you in 3 years from now. But before trying new stuff, how can you just get rid of bad habits? Well, I've got bad news. You can break a habit, but you're unlikely to forget it. Once the neural pathways have been carved into your brain, they are extremely hard to remove entirely, even if they go unused for a while. Resisting temptation with sheer willpower is an ineffective strategy. The trick here is to inverse the first part of the algorithm, which is to make things obvious. So instead of this, you want to make things invisible and see your bad behavior disappear. Your worst enemy is your gaze. So lower your gaze. Okay, so now you know how to make your habits obvious. You understand how to use implementation intentions and habit stacking, but that doesn't mean you can have attractive habits. And to make sure you can sustain this for more than 3 days, you need to make your habits irresistible. To achieve this, we need to first understand the nature of cravings and how they work. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarettes or to check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety, to win social acceptance and approval, or to achieve status. Look at nearly any product that is habit forming, and you'll see that it does not create a new motivation, but rather latches onto the underlying motives of human nature. You want to find love and reproduce? Just swipe on Tinder. You want to bond with others? Check Instagram stories. You're craving social approval? Post on Instagram and watch the likes count go up. What you want to do here is recognize the patterns and replace them with something better. Take me for example. I had the habit of sometimes eating bad stuff between meals, like cereals, chocolate, but dark chocolate, like 90%. And I had a strong craving to eat burgers outside, but good burgers. But recently I went on a bulk. I followed a strict program of 5 meals a day and 5 healthy meals cooked at home. And guess what? My cravings for junk food and snacks disappeared immediately. I was so full all the time that I didn't want to eat anything but what was on my diet plan. The lesson here is that by overloading yourself with good habits, you give no room for bad habits. Your habits are modern-day solutions to ancient desires, new versions of old vices. The underlying motives behind human behavior remain the same. The specific habits we perform differ based on the period of history. Here's the powerful part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motive. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another person learns to ease their anxiety by going for a run. Your current habits are not necessarily the best way to solve the problems you face. They are just the methods you learn to use. Once you associate a solution with a problem you need to solve, you keep coming back to it. Understand this. You are driven by desire and disciplined by habits until you are driven by habits. Therefore, we need to hack your brain so you can't resist doing good habits by using temptation bundling. Pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. You're more likely to find a behavior attractive if you get to do one of your favorite things at the same time. Here's the formula, so take some notes. After habit I need, I will do habit I want. After sending 30 emails, I will watch a YouTube video and eat dark chocolate with a glass of milk. Now, if you want this formula on steroids, add the habit stacking just before. After current habit, I will habit I need to do, and after that, I will habit I want. Okay, now you've got another weapon in your arsenal. But really, let's be serious. How to reprogram your brain to enjoy hard habits. This is the part where I'm gonna talk about mindset. Yeah, sorry, not sorry, but guys, at the end of the day, it's you versus you. Your enemy is your brain, and more specifically, the way you talk to yourself, to people, to whoever. So here's the deal. I want you to use vocabulary inversion. Change just one word. You don't have to anymore. You get to do stuff, all right? Nobody asks you to get jacked and go to the gym. You don't have to do this. You get to go to the gym. You get to build strength and endurance. You get to wake up each day to work on your business. That's an opportunity. Okay, so now you know how to make your habits obvious or how to make invisible so you don't trigger the cues. You know how to make them attractive and develop a strong craving for them. But still, that doesn't mean your habits are not hard to execute. You need to make them easy. Here's the thing. You are lazy, and that's a good thing. Lazy, L-A-Z-Y, is a simple word that summarizes the pillars of efficiency. Leverage, focus on high-impact tasks that maximize results with minimal effort. Automate, use tools, systems, and processes to handle repetitive work. Zap, eliminate unnecessary steps. Yourself, focus on habits that keep you efficient. You and me always want to do the easiest thing. You'd better sit down and think hard of the best plan to reach a business goal or to lift weights in a different way so you can get bigger muscles fast. Of course, you know that's bullshit. You're not taking action. You're being in motion. When you're in motion, planning, strategizing, and learning. Those are all good things, don't get me wrong, but they don't lead to a result. If I organize my Notion template to better track my leads, that's motion. If I send an email to a lead, that's action. So why do you still do some kind of motion? Sometimes you need to learn stuff and plan a little bit. But most times, if we are being honest here, it just makes you feel like you're making some kind of progress without the risk of failure, right? Be honest. So how to solve this? You need to be a master of the decisive moment. Habits are like the entrance ramp to a highway. They lead you down a path, and before you know it, you're speeding toward the next behavior. It seems to be easier to continue what you're already doing than to start doing something different. The difference between a bad day and a good day is correlated with the small decisions you take. The things you do just after the decision don't matter as much because you're gonna do them anyways. What matters is the 2-minute action following your decisions. It all comes down to a simple, decisive moment. Nearly all the habits that bring you closer to your goals are downscalable to 2 minutes actions. Remember, it is always easier to keep doing something than to start something. So just focus on making the start ridiculously easy. Creating content becomes write one paragraph and post it. Getting a list of 100 leads becomes finding one email address on the bio of a YouTube page. All you need to reach your goals and define the habits that will bring you there is to map them out on a scale from very easy to very hard. See, if you want to build a 50K per month agency, then all you have to start with is to find one lead and then contact 10 leads and then contact 10K leads and then get one client, and then you just repeat those steps. Of course, there's other stuff, but that's basically it. Same thing with getting 500K followers. Just start by writing a paragraph, even a word, and then you script a video outline, and then you film and edit one video, and then you post weekly for 6 months, and then you just repeat that until you reach the number. So after you've done this kind of table, what you want to do is just focus on the Kickstarter habit, the one that only takes 2 minutes. Because the thing that happens is that you project the discomfort that you're going to experience while doing the habits, which you know is going to take a few hours every day if you want to create content or run an agency or run any kind of business. But the true challenge is just in those 2 minutes, because once you get started, it's easier, it's way easier. So all you have to do is to get started, and you have to kind of ignore what comes after this, right? Just focus on those 2 minutes. You tell yourself, I'm gonna do this for 2 minutes and that's it. And maybe you're just gonna do 2 minutes and then go back to what you were doing, but chances are, if you're ambitious, you're gonna stay there and do the work. If you've applied the other parts of the algorithm, the rest will follow. So these 2 minutes habits are good, but wouldn't it be better to just solve all of your bad habits and get better ones once and for all? Of course, and these are the one-time actions that force you to lock in good habits. For example, if you want to remove doom scrolling, then the bad habit that leads you here is to log in social media in order to post the content. But then you get exposed to a feed, to other videos, to dopamine. So what you want to do is post via a software. If you want to avoid distractions at the gym, then instead of listening to your music, and when you don't find the right music in order to do your set, you're on your phone and maybe you take a longer break than you should do, well, just remove the headphones and start listening to the sound of the iron when you lift. Trust me, you'll be way more efficient. Or if you want better sleep instantly, instead of watching your screen with blue light right in the face, just install Flux, which is gonna put red light on your screen, and then you can use blue light glasses, which can help. All right, so we've come a long way. You have the tools to install and delete habits in your life. You know how to make it easy, but easy doesn't mean that you feel good after you've done it. And the problem here is that with all the tools that you just got, you only know how to do a habit once. You're still lacking a crucial piece of the algorithm that will push you to execute that habit again and again and again. This is the last piece of the algorithm. It guarantees that your habits won't fade away within the first week. You have to make your habits satisfying. What is rewarded is repeated. What is punished is avoided. Let me ask you a question. What current actions get you immediately rewarded? Pull up your phone right now and check social media. You get a shot of dopamine, and chances are you want to check it again in 30 minutes. All you need to do is to watch what gets you rewarded in the present. Some people seem to have infinite energy and earn money faster than you. It's because they get rewarded for what they do. This accelerates their habit loop and pushes them to do more, faster. But here's the problem with new habits. Results are non-existent. You won't have money in your bank from just sending one email campaign. You won't have money in the bank from just doing one video. You won't have money in the bank from just sending an email to one lead, or big muscles from one gym session. And without immediate satisfaction, you won't stick to your habits, I guarantee. I know what all the mindset gurus say, but delayed gratification doesn't work at all. There is a trick though. You have to learn how to see progress without the immediate end result, but with an immediate intermediary results. And the reason you haven't reached your goals yet is because you haven't configured the system yet, even if you know about it and it seems obvious to you. Therefore, I will tell you about it. You live in what scientists call a delayed return environment because you can work for years before your actions deliver the intended payoff. But by choosing this path of discipline, you're fighting against human nature. The outcomes you're seeking, like making $1 million profit per year, get 10% body fat, or do 10 handstand push-ups, are never top of mind at decisive moments. These outcomes are so far anyways. Why would your brain care about them? Instant gratification is the reason why you'll take the pizza, why you'll skip doing outreach, or why you'll skip a gym session. So how to turn instant gratification to your advantage? Every time you pass on an unnecessary expense, add it to a saving account. Skip your overpriced Starbucks latte, add $8 to your ads account. Skip a cheat meal, add $20 to your fitness supplements account. You get the idea. There are always smart things you can do with your money and dumb things. Finance the good stuff with the habit of the bad stuff. Seeing your savings grow for your health or your business feels better than missing out. You're making it rewarding to do nothing. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you just need to do it for a few days until your identity becomes the reinforcement. Eventually, you do it because it's part of who you are and it feels right. The more a habit becomes natural to you, the less you need to rely on outside motivation. Rewards can get you started, but it's your identity that keeps you going. The other way to turn instant gratification to your advantage is to provide clear evidence of your progress. By clear, I mean that you have to see it with your eyes. A 23-year-old stockbroker, Trent Deersmith, used a simple habit to excel. He started each day with 120 paper clips in a jar, moving one to an empty jar after each sales call. This small system kept him consistent, helping him bring in $5 million in 18 months and land a six-figure job by 24. Tracking your actions creates a cue for what comes next. Habit tracking keeps you accountable and forces you to face reality. Most of us overestimate how well we stick to our habits. You think you're better than you actually are. The best motivation is progress. When we get a signal that we are moving forward, we become more motivated to continue down that path. In this way, habit tracking can have an addictive effect on motivation. Each small win feeds your desire. That's the key to happiness, by the way. Now, with that said, you will inevitably fail. It's inevitable. You need a recovery protocol. So how to recover quickly when your habits break down? Perfection isn't possible. Sooner or later, something will come up. You'll get sick, need to travel for work, or have family duties to handle. Whenever this happens, there's one rule you need to follow. Never twice. The first mistake is never what derails you. It's the cycle of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing once is just a slip up. Missing twice can start a new unwanted habit. This is what separates winners from losers. Everyone has bad days, whether it's a missed workout, bad performance, or lack of focus. The difference? Successful people bounce back quickly. Breaking a habit doesn't matter if you rebuild it straight away. Too often, We fall into a all or nothing trap. If it's not perfect, we think it's pointless. That's extremely dangerous. Listen, what you don't realize is how much it matters to show up on your bad days. Skipping a day hurts more than nailing it on your best days helps. For example, if you start with $100, a 50% gain gets you to $150, but just a 33% loss brings you back to $100. So a small loss can break a big win. So as Charlie Munger says, the first rule of compounding: never interrupt it unnecessarily. Spending just 5 minutes at the gym won't make you jacked, but it reinforces your identity. Now there's a dark side to tracking habits. Don't let it lead you to become driven by the numbers rather than the purpose behind it. Don't be the guy tracking his nofap streak and forming his identity out of not touching his private parts. If success means chasing a bigger number, you'll focus on increasing that number at all costs. You might push for higher revenue without earning any profit, or you'll take on freelancing or agency clients at the expense of your time freedom, only to burn out and become a slave to your work because you don't have the proper systems. The human mind wants to win whatever game is being played. Now there's a third and last powerful tool to make our habits stick. But how does accountability partners and satisfaction work to make our habits last? Well, you have to flip the script. You need to make it unsatisfying to fail. Imagine how shameful would it be to give your word to your peers and fail in front of them. It's the exact reason why I'm here in Buenos Aires, Argentina, with driven entrepreneurs. I can't afford to fail here. Not only am I gonna ruin myself, but I'm gonna be a burden for the group. This sensation is extremely unsatisfying, and you can use it right now. Give your word to your peers, your friends, your family, and actually do what you say you're gonna do. Simple. Want to make it more engaging? Write a contract with the habit, the penalty, and the reward when accomplished. Sign it and see yourself change in an instant. Thursday, February 30th, 3 years from now, you're about to meet someone very special. But here's the twist. The individual you've been preparing to fight isn't real. The real battle isn't in the future, it's here and now. Every decision you make today determines the individual you'll fight tomorrow, next week, in 3 years. The question isn't if you will win this fight, it's which version of you will show up. Will it be the one shaped by excuses, procrastination, and regrets, or the one forged by small, consistent wins? You decide. So pause this video, write down one habit to master this week, then take the first step right now, because the fight doesn't start tomorrow. It started the moment you hit play.